everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Transylvania Chronicles here on Dork Tales. I'm your storyteller, Kelly, how you seeing him, and we're back for another episode of Vampire the Masquerade. It has been quite a while, but I'm very excited to be back because, hey, who doesn't like a little bit of blood? We have a long story ahead of us. We still have another, 600 years of plot, so I think it's probably time that we get back to it. But I can't do that without introducing our coterie for the night. Let's go ahead and start with our eldest looking, Robin.
Hi. Yeah, eldest looking, but probably youngest actual, who's getting a little bit older tomorrow. So if anyone wants to spend that good XP as a birthday gift, I'll take it. Because my birthday's tomorrow. But yeah, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns. And tonight I am super excited to be getting back into the skin of Tereza Dinescu, our Zamisi badass who also uses she, her for now. And she likes to get into all of other people's skin and play with it. It's
As
great.
you do, as a treat.
As you do, as a treat. Yeah, it's been a while, but I believe we left game on a very interesting sentence about my mysterious box.
Oh, this is true. Your mysterious box. Mm-hmm. All right. So, speaking of other things that are in the box, it's Chris.
Bleh.
Bleh.
Hi, I'm Chris. I go by Blogg, use he, him, or they, them pronouns. Really excited to be here playing Rainald, our Machiavellian person from the shadows.
Not
doing
Malkavian.
Malkavian. No, not
Lasombra.
Lasombra. And yeah, really excited to be here. Though I have one question for you, Kelly. Is it appropriate to call this a coterie? I feel like we're more a pack.
How about we call you a clot?
Clot? Ooh, I like that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds fantastic.
The official dictionary definition of a group of vampires.
A clot, yeah. Yep, it's in a guide that I wrote like 12 years ago for my imaginary fourth sect of kindred. Fifth sect.
Oh,
who counts the Inconnu?
I like that.
Yeah, right. So, Chris, anything else you want to say?
No, ready to get back into things.
All right, let's pass the torch down to Kal so he can do a fear frenzy test.
Uh-oh. Hello everybody. It's nice to be back. My name is Kal. I'm Neo Kal in the chat and in the sound cloud and the Steam Deck and the MySpace, and it's nice to have the eyes and the drinking of the blood. Blah. But yeah, I'm playing Bastien, Salubri, and he and I use he, him pronouns.
Nice. All right. Next to you, of course, we have Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I play Alëna, our lovable, squishable gangrel who uses the pronouns and num. I also have not only forgotten where I put my fangs, I know where they were lying on the floor like 2 weeks ago. Where I put them after that, no idea. When I cleaned up, this is why I don't clean up.
They're in a safe place.
They're in a safe place, 100%. Also, I just got back to work from a bunch of vacations, so I'm feeling all like a mess of a human, and I'm pretty sure my dice are over there, and I need to grab them.
Well, hey, why don't you go sneak over there and do it while I talk about the best place to get dice besides your floor, Bookwyrm Games. Tonight is sponsored, of course, by Bookwyrm Games. They are a fantastic dice proprietor, dice seller, and they're our dice friends. And they are just some of the coolest people to ever sponsor us. They've been our sponsor for about a year now. We couldn't do this without them. If you like dice and you want to buy it from some people who actually really love the World of Darkness, you definitely want to go to bookwyrmgames.com. Now that's Bookwyrm, like a dragon with a Y. They are fantastic. In fact, just to remind everybody, the first time I ever did a video call when we were setting up the sponsorship with Michael, the head of Bookwyrm Games, the first thing I saw behind him was a giant signed copy of the Vampire the Masquerade Mind's Eye Theater, the new edition, the Nosferatu poster. And I was like, I'm in good company right now. And I could see like all this World of Darkness crap on the shelves behind him. And I was just like, yeah, we're good. We're good. It is also your place to get World of Darkness inspired gemstone dice, like the ones that Robin is going to be using tonight. And you can go get your own. Not only that, you can save some money because, hey, why not save 15% with code DorkTales? That's right, 15% with code DorkTales over at Bookwyrm Games. They're a great sponsor, and they love the World of Darkness. What's up?
Well, I was just gonna say, I'm very, very happy. I'm using.
Ooh,
I
that
have.
noise. Beautiful.
Oh, sorry, that was right there. I have
That
two
was
sets of dice. Oh, you said I thought. Okay, I have two sets of bloodstone dice to use tonight. I'm very excited, which are beautiful and very vampire-y, and they sound so nice. So go get your dice. They're very nice. And I'm very excited for D10 sets eventually that are Dark Tales theme because we need some vampire ones.
Speaking of which, if you have a good idea for something besides a box to be the 1 or the 10 on our Transylvania Chronicles set, hop onto our Discord, let us know, or leave a comment on like the YouTube videos. It's the easiest way for us to see them. I'm curious because we got the Devil and the Dove set is going to have a dove as the 10. But I have no idea what to put. What do you got?
I love that. Jen put it there. A boar.
A boar? Maybe a boar. Maybe a boar. Boar on the floor is what happens whenever you roll those dice and they fall down. You're like, boar on the floor. Anyway.
Yeah.
Bookwyrm Games is a fantastic sponsor. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. Tonight is also going to be a great time to give you a little 30-second spiel on our other sponsor, Monument Studios. It is only 1 or 6 days away from the launch of their Kickstarter for Fantasy Plus. Monument Studios does a ton of music that we use on this channel, and they've sponsored me to tell you, go check out their Kickstarter. It is going to be available in 6 days, and if you like using music in your games like I do, you can't go wrong. It's Hollywood quality. It's free to use. You can use it in streams, YouTube videos, whatever, so long as you buy it from them. And it's really, really reasonable. The opening theme from Vampire and a ton of the stuff that we're using tonight is from Monument Studios. I can't recommend them enough. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. They're a small 2-person studio. And as a small, basically 1-person studio here at Dork Tales, I really relate. So go help them out. They're awesome people. And if you like music, you can't go wrong. All right. So any questions, comments, or concerns before we drop in? I'll let you know what we were doing. No, I think we're good. All right. So last episode, we picked up the new book, which actually no, it's been 2 episodes. We're 2 episodes into Act 2, and now we're on our 3rd. So after an extended absence away from each other and time passing, we pick up our adventure in 1314, if I'm not mistaken, after a couple hundred years of downtime. Since then, you have gone and reclaimed a decent amount of power, or claimed a decent amount of power, as neonates becoming Ancilla. Bastien, you have become the Prince of Balgrad. Alëna, you have become nominally the Prince of Schasberg, and Tereza, you have become the Prince of Kronstadt. Since that time, of course, some of these places have been renamed over that period of time, or will be very shortly. And of course, Rainald has remained at his perch at the Tehuta Pass, which has absolutely been renamed. But we'll just call it the Tehuta Pass for now, for ease, because that's what I remember primarily.
That's actually how Rainald was going to continue to do it, just kind of like a little nod to the past.
Perfect. So, since then, you have established yourselves and you've met from time to time. The majority of you have committed the evil act of Amaranth and have lowered your generation closer to that of Cain. However, times do get lonely, and you do occasionally check in on your old coterie. And we begin after a dreadful winter. Spring has finally returned, but instead of bringing flowers into bloom and the peace of renewal, instead, the winter has been harsh, and the spring is not much better. The cattle in the fields are nearly skeletal. Farmers plow nutrient-deprived fields. Famine, pestilence, and the threat of war are ever present. It seems that the entire Transylvanian region is cursed. And perhaps it is, as you will soon discover. For, under the request of the architect, Zelios, you have acquired a tome that speaks of a demon, a Slavic demon named Kupala, whose influence, he claims, has plunged Transylvania into centuries of conflict or chaos. There you re-met, becoming acquainted with each other once more, researching the book and having a little bit of a celebration. At the height of which, however, the madman that you met several hundred years prior, back during your first mission to Budapest, arrives and begins ranting before seizing up completely in the throes of madness. He talks of prophecy. He talks of the fall, of many things. And when he rises, he asks you to help him defeat the demon that he is bound to, the demon, Kupala, that this book is written of. To do so, he asks that you travel. Actually, pardon me, that wasn't him. So he asks that you help him, and Zelios asks that you travel and help him by inscribing a rune into a location called Seoris. Fate appears to be tying you to this location, however, because as this occurs, there is a delivery from your friend, Sasha Vikos. Pardon me, there is a delivery from your friend, Micah Vikos. Getting ahead of myself there. So, there's a delivery from Micah Vikos, along with the other half of the ring that you swore to do a boon upon its return. He asks that you travel to a place named Timisoara and acquire, beneath the chapel of the Holy Sepulchre, a Canaanite named Goratrix, and return him to the Tremere at Seoris for judgment. Do this, and Vikos will wash your debt clean. He also warns you that he expects that without your help, this Goratrix may try to escape the judgment that so thoroughly awaits him. And so, that is your mission. Go to Timisoara, and then deliver this Goratrix to Seoris. Simple, right? After doing so, you inscribed a rune inside of Tereza's castle. Zelios spoke of how he would go and inscribe more as he went, and taught you the method to do so inside of Seoris. And there were some side scenes involving potentially witches and badly behaving descendants. And before we go, the last thing that I have to remind you, because it has been about 3 months, is that I have the following NPCs accompanying you: Carl, Lena, Dominic, Clara, Polnock, Caesar, Eugene, and wolves, and the box is going with you, apparently. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Does anybody have any other questions before we actually begin the game? Okay. And last question for you there. Is anyone doing anything else inside of the town before you head off? Or shall we start on the road?
Rainald's good to go.
Perfect.
Nope. I
Good to start
did
on the
the
road.
scene before the end of the last game, so
Then,
Yeah.
without further ado, let's begin. And let's head back to Vampire the Masquerade, the Transylvania Chronicles. Lightning arcs in the sky overhead. It has been a miserable voyage so far. Traveling along with your retainers, it has been a miserable journey. It seems no sooner did you leave the comforts of Tereza's home than nature rebelled against you. Wind bit into the inside of your wagons. Your horses seemed nervous and halting at every step of the way, and the rain fell in torrents. Sheets of black rain covered the cart, both during the night and, as your retainers would later report, even during the day. The wind became an incessant howl that both lulled you into your deathless sleep and woke you into the night. No matter what, you are having a difficult trip, but not as difficult as the mortals that are in your employ. It takes a couple of weeks for you to reach Timisoara by cart. In fact, let's do a quick check. How far is...
I have in my notes 400-kilometer trip to the Alps.
Okay, perfect. I love that we have that because it's been like 3
That's all.
months.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure we were wondering how long it was gonna be. Well, yeah, I have
How
it in my
fast horse and wagon? 2 to 12 miles per hour, as far as 30 miles daily. So this, how many? You said 400 miles?
400 kilometers.
Okay, so 400 km in miles. 400-year-old honey.
I thought we figured. 400-year-old honey. Yum. I thought we figured it'd be at least like 2 to 3 weeks. I think.
Okay, so it's 250 miles. 200. So let's say 300 miles with hard roads and stuff like that. So it's going to take at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us begin about 2 weeks in. Now I need to ask, as you are traveling here, who is feeding locally, and who is feeding off of your retainers?
Locally, if possible, backup
Yeah.
retainer.
Yeah. Same.
All right. So here's the deal.
animals as much as possible. Locals is backup.
So here's the deal. What I'm going to do is I would like everyone who has retainers, if you're using your retainers, tell me how many points of blood or think about how many points you're thinking of drinking. If you are feeding using hunting methods, such as what Alëna is doing, Alëna, please make me a wits and survival roll. And what's going to happen is I am going to spend a hurt the more for each of you, and I'm going to roll 2d10s and subtract those from your max blood pool. And that's what you're starting with tonight.
Does my specialty in tracking apply?
Yes, it will. Okay, so starting with Tereza. Tereza, all of you put yourselves at max blood. Tereza, you have lost 11 points of blood on this trip.
Ouchies.
Yes, so think about how you're offsetting
Difficulty 6 for me?
that. Just 6 for you.
I mean, I have Call of the Wild and Animal Affinity, so I think I will definitely be trying to use that as well to.
Well, we will be talking about that as we go. So I'm going to go through the list. Rainald, you're minus 14. Bastien, you're minus 8. And Alëna, you're minus 12 off of your total. And now let's try to supplement that, going in reverse order. Alëna, what did you get on your hunting roll?
5 successes.
Okay, add 5 vitae to that total. Just to say you ambiently would have had 5 more vitae than that, so you're probably sitting around like, what, 7 or 8?
No, more than that.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Well, because max is 12.
And I get
Or no, max is 12. Max is 20. Max is 20.
Oh, yeah, because you're 7th gen. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking 15.
So I went
for
down
most
to
of you.
8 and then up another 5. So I'm at 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a little peckish, but you're mostly fine. You're snacky. Bastien, what are you doing to supplement your vitae? Are you going to drink off of Lena? Are you going to try to... now, you're mostly going through hard countryside. So what would you do to supplement? What's your vitae at right now? What's your blood at right now, I should say?
7 out of 15.
I mean, that's survivable.
Yeah, I think finding 1 or 2 healthy-looking people sneaking out and...
There's not really much on the way, unfortunately.
Right.
So what I could do is, if you want to try to do something, go ahead and make me a wits and survival roll as well.
Okay.
And given the rough terrain, let's do it at a difficulty of 9.
All right, difficulty 9.
Yeah, just because when
I
you're
have
looking for humans.
instinctive.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go ahead.
And that makes 10s count as 10 again.
It
correct?
allows you to
When
reroll
have
them, yes.
specialty?
Absolutely. We're using the rerolls.
Oh, that XP I put in survival really, it's really helping here. Difficulty 9. Ooh.
Difficulty 9.
Oh, I got 110.
Okay.
Oh, didn't get anything.
So 1.
3 successes.
Okay, so add 3 blood to your total.
All right.
All right, Rainald.
I would actually encourage us to head off if there's any kind of small villages or anything nearby, and try and like, even if it's a little bit of a side trek, encourage us to make a pit stop so that our people can rest and we can feed. If that is possible, I would like to try and do my typical oratory and trying to convert people to the good work.
Fortunately, there's really not much on the way. You're going through the hard countryside of the Alps. Aside from a couple of random houses of home settlers and things like that, I'm spending a drama bomb to not do research on the area. There's really not much around there. So you're going to be coming into town a bit peckish.
Okay. If there's any homesteads or anyone that I can talk to, I'll just try and like convert them and feed on them while doing that.
Okay. If you want to try to sneak out there, then give me the same roll as Bastien then.
That was wits and
Survival.
And survival.
And wits.
I'm gonna. Can I spend a willpower? I want to spend a willpower.
Sure.
All right. Great. So that'll be 1.
You got 1 more vitae or 1 more blood. Perfect. And Tereza, what are you sitting at? What's your blood pool looking like?
So with minus 11, I'm at 9.
Okay. So how are you going to supplement this?
She will probably supplement using Call of the Wild to try and summon animals to her.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and make me a Call of the Wild roll?
Okay.
And that is going to have some slightly different applications than just doing a simple herd roll or a simple hunting roll.
Okay.
So go ahead and do that and tell me what you get. And what type of animal are you summoning? Because I'm gonna let you do this
Uh,
once before you make it to Timisoara.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I want to do Whispers to the Wild or Call the Wild.
You have to call in order to call.
Fair, yeah.
Whispers
Yeah.
is just talking to them if they're there.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Charisma and survival. Okay, I know what stat I need to buy up next. Charisma.
The chat is saying to
and
summon pigs.
survival. No, probably
I said
not.
to summon wolves.
You could
Always
summon
wolves.
elk or
Yeah.
deer.
It's true.
Yeah, probably a big animal. So yeah, if there's elk nearby in this area, I forget what kind of.
In the Alps? I believe so.
Yeah,
There are at least elk-like creatures.
yeah. So
They
I will
may
try
not
and
be
summon
what we think of as elk, but they are
Yeah.
elk.
big herd animals.
So
Big deer-like herd animals.
let's see. The wild boar is very widespread to this date. What's a chamois?
It's from Princess
Ooh,
Mononoke.
yeah. Yeah. So a chamois? They're
chamois?
basically like goats.
ShamWow?
Chamois. Yeah.
You're gonna love these boars.
Yeah.
So your
That is
difficulty
going to be
is...
2 success.
Now, are you checking the difficulty chart based off whether or not you're... Is it different based off summoning herbivores in
for
this edition?
Call of the Wild, nope. Call of the Wild is just Charisma Survival difficulty 6. Whispers is the
That's-
different difficulty.
Perfect. All right.
And-
So
Yeah, and then successes is how many animals.
Yeah, so
respond,
I have 2, so 1/4 of the animals in the area respond.
okay. So I'm gonna spend your something good happens to roll an extra d10 to see how many are in the area. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. And what type of animal are you summoning?
It's elk. Big.
So it looks like the chamois.
ShamWow.
The chamois.
Chamois.
The goat
The
antelopes.
ShamWows. Shamu.
Okay, here we go. Okay. In the immediate vicinity, you're summoning half of them?
Quarter.
A quarter of them. Okay, so
Yeah.
since I spent this something good happens, I'm going to round that up. So you're going to be able to summon 3 of them for feeding. Now hold on while I
These
do
are really
some...
cute.
They're really cute
Yeah,
animals.
what are they called? How are they spelled?
I put it in our chat.
SCHAMO.
Oh, there.
He put it in
Sorry, I
the
didn't
chat.
see
There
it.
you go.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Sorry.
I kind of want one of these.
Oh, they are cute. They will make really tasty food.
I mean, they have for
Oh,
generations.
I remember my my mental project I was gonna do was trying to make, because Tereza has a beautiful. She's crafted a bone kind of armor
Oh yeah.
rib cage, and Dominic also has like protruding bones and spikes on him now.
Okay,
That's happened.
so what I'm going to
They're too
say...
cute to eat.
you
no,
are
they're
going to have... are you just straight up killing these?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You have 9 points of blood that you can distribute between yourself and others.
Is anyone looking particularly peckish?
Rainald.
Cool.
I can't. I'm sorry. Rainald will refuse the animals.
Oh, I sure as hell will.
Yeah.
He'll,
I'm at 10.
he will just say that animals are the domain of men, and we feed off of men, not animals.
I'll remember God telling us not to eat animals.
I am a hunter. I'm a killer first. Yes, I prefer my prey. But sometimes you have to eat what you can. Bastien. If Alëna doesn't want anything either, you can have 4. I will take 5 for myself, but if you want 4, have 4. 4 points of blood for you, Rainald. And if Alëna wants it, then 2. But
All right.
Grazie.
Bastien, while you are digging into your blood, Lena is going to... Father, do you mind if I enjoy as well?
The blood or the meat?
I could use a savory sauce from my bread.
Sure.
She will
Yeah,
dip
I'll give her
stale
one.
bread in the pooling blood. It tastes like their life.
Yeah, you understand.
Of course.
It tastes like their life. Adorable and goat-like. What, goat? Deer? What are these, Tereza?
Would I know what they are? I know I...
Do you have any survival at all?
I
yeah,
hope
the point
so.
of survival.
Yep, you'll know what they are. They're apparently
Okay.
very, very common in the mountains around here.
Okay. They are, I would say, almost almost a pest. They're very common. They believe they're called chamois. They are like...
It's a regional dialect.
Exactly. They are like a cross between a goat and like a elk. Little bigger, but more built for climbing mountains.
So it's pronounced chamois.
Yes, they are chamois.
We're learning.
Yeah, we are learning.
All right, so you have a brief conversation about the chamois.
And then Tereza is going to actually just take, because they have quite interesting looking horns, and she's going to, just craft things with them on their time. She's bored. She'll work on improving her armor, and Dominic as well, and maybe start working on something for Clara, just to cosmetic kind of look to it. But yeah, she'll start practicing her bone crafting again.
The remainder of the trip is just as uncomfortable for you as it is for your retainers. After days and days of travel, your blood reserve stretching thin enough to make you slightly uncomfortable, you will awaken just as at evening descends across the land, as you arrive in Timisoara. Bastien, you'll wake first, your eyes snapping open as you hear speech outside. Rough Romanian being spoken back and forth by some type of gate guard giving directions. It's rough and uncultured dialect, but pleasant enough. And can you make me a perception and alertness at a difficulty of 8? Unless you turn on your aspects, in which case it's difficulty 6.
Perception and awareness? Alertness?
Alertness.
Three successes.
The best place for you to get some rest tonight and get out of this godforsaken rain is probably to go to the Golden Swan. There are rooms to let there. It has been... Let us just say many have not come through here recently. Even merchants have had difficulty making it through all of this fucking weather. Besides that, I welcome you. Good on you for making a pilgrimage to the chapel. You can stable your horses at the Golden Swan. Besides that, keep your wits about you. Although merchants haven't made it here, there are some strangers that have been reported. Moors. Dominic will lean forward. You'll hear the seat creak. I will keep that in mind. Thank you. And shortly after, the cart will begin moving again. From nearby, you can hear the sound of a bit of music playing out the side of a nearby building. There's a brief, forgettable conversation with a stable hand. A couple of clinking coins exchanging hands. And then the sound of a latch being drawn across a door. And one by one, your retainers will waken each of you. What do you all do?
So I don't know if you saw the chat, but I was wondering if Alyona's bursting out of the carriage every single night again because she hates this traveling during daytime bullshit.
I think so. I think you are bursting out of it. Who is waking?
I mean, there's the other option is that she sleeps underground during the day and just catches up at night. I have stamina tireless. Like, I can just run.
Or you can shapeshift at this point, right?
I can shapeshift. I can fly.
You can just bird it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think that's probably the sane option. Is that
that's probably the sane option? Yeah.
Alëna will show up slightly later tonight.
Cool.
What you need to get is your animalism up enough to subsume so that you can just run during the day in wolf form. Hidden in the body of a wolf.
True, yeah. Well, that's where some XP can go.
Right? It's not like we don't have enough of that in this game.
We just bought a bunch.
I know, and you got more coming to you. Alright. So. Night has fallen across the land, and one by one you are all woken. Lena bangs on the top of Bastien's coffin. Or are you traveling inside of coffins or just inside of crates or hollowed out spaces inside of the carriages?
Probably a hollowed out space inside of the carriage.
Okay. One by one you are awakened by Carl, Lena, and Clara. And informed that, that the stables have been booked. Given the finery here, it was a simple explanation that we don't need your help with our horses. These are very special horses and very special wagons. We will attend to them. Thank you for your service. Have the coin anyway. And who at this point doesn't want to get a little bit of coin for not doing their work? As you're all let out of the carriages, you find yourself in a stinking horse stable. Horse shit is shoveled into the corner in a pile nearly knee-deep. You can hear the sound of several of the horses further in the stables. Notice your appearance and rear back in fear. your own horses, long since accustomed to you, and perhaps even bloodbound to you, couldn't give two shits. I've informed my lady, I've informed the gate guard that we are here on a pilgrimage to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the chapel. In the meanwhile, I intend to acquire all of us rooms at an inn called the Golden Swan, of which we are in the stables of. If it would be to your liking, Dominic says, bowing before you, Tereza, I think many of us could use a chance to eat food that was cooked for us and stay in out of the rain.
Of course. Of course, my boy. You have been working so hard. And you've brought us here safely. You all deserve a good night's sleep that is dry and warm. This rain is trying to beat us down, wear you down, but you have proven yourself. And she will reach out and kind of like caress his face.
He will lean into it with a lusty expression.
You have proven yourself to be far worthy of a rest.
Thank you.
Book.
I will acquire you the best room available, of course.
Of course.
He bows and heads inside. Unlatching the door outside, you'll be able to see that Timisoara is not a terribly large city. A large town, one might say. Now, the Chapel of the Holy Sepulchre is not terribly far away. And as the door opens, you'll see the moonlight shine above, illuminating the steeple in the distance. And as it does, you'll hear the sound of church bells ringing in once, twice, 8 times. What do you all do?
So just to refresh, we were picking and meeting Goretrix in Timisoara and then taking
Yes.
him up to the Chantry.
Yes, you're going from Timisoara to Sioris. And
Yeah.
you are picking him up in... so the exact letter says the following. Let me just remind you, because it has been some time. I make a request of you. Go to Timisoara, to the crypt beneath the Chapel of the Holy Sepulchre, where my own agents shall make certain he awaits your coming. Though clever, they lack a Canaanite's powers and stamina. Guard him through these dangerous lands and escort him to the Chantry. He knows the way to Sioris, and has been commanded to appear there. So all you have to do is make it to the chapel. But that said, if you wanted to, top up before getting him, an inn is a great place.
Oh, that's 100% Tereza's idea. She will gesture to Rainald and Bastien, because Alëna is not here yet. Well, it seems we've made good time. It is 8th bell. I think we should, Well, of course we need to wait for Alëna to make her way here, and I'm tired of animal blood. I think it's time to get a proper meal before we go deal with this god Trix. Who knows what sort of resistance he may pull. And I think we all should be on our strength. The inn might be a perfect ground for finding some lost souls that are in need of saving. Right, Rainald?
Yes. I agree. We should make sure that we enter the holy place on good footing and not particularly hungry. We wouldn't want to lose our temper.
No.
Through the open door, you will hear the flapping of wings. And a large raven,
Yep, Raven.
as large as a rooster, is going to fly through the gap and land on a side of some of the stabling. And at that moment, the horses at the back of the room are going to rear up as if this raven just like caught in their faces. They're going to panic and whinny loudly.
There. Quiet yourselves.
She'll croak a little as she kind of takes in around, making sure that, no one's going to, aside from the animals, witness her changing back.
It appears there's no one else there. And if not, you can always hop down into the empty stable that you've landed on and emerge from it fully formed.
True. Yeah, she'll do that just to be sure in case somebody comes in the middle, because I think it's technically, if I don't spend extra blood, it's like 3 turns each way, so takes a minute.
Some time.
Or
As
takes some
Alëna
time.
pops down in there, you are going to all hear some incredibly wet and disturbing noises as her body... Well, here's the question. Do you think that vampires just flow back into the state, or do you think that it is a very visceral 80s horror movie thing?
I think it depends on what kind
Oh,
of
like an
vampire.
American Werewolf in London?
Yeah, like is this like
Yeah,
shifting
that's-
bone and like what do you think, Alëna? It's your transformation. Is it more like mist-like, or is it more visceral?
Or is it like bad CG, like Animorph?
I mean, yes, that is an option.
It's Animorph. No, I think
There's just this
that-
weird half part of Alëna at some point that's burned.
Yeah. I think that unless she wills it, and I'm going to say specifically if I'm spending blood to shorten the time period, then it's just like horror movie cracking of bones and as they rearrange themselves.
Beautiful. We love that here.
Yeah. If I spend blood to like end up like I think it's 4 blood points to do it reflexively, then it's
Ooh.
just like a mist kind of.
Just
Yeah.
I'm a human again. Perfect.
And if you
Alright.
spend 5 blood
Dracula
points-
into a bat. Like
Perfect.
Yeah,
poof.
exactly.
Oh, I like
It's just
that. And
it's
if you
just a
spend
mist
5
of
blood
blood and
points-
skin cells that you shed.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
for 5 blood points, it's a Sailor Moon transformation scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair,
There we
that's fair.
go.
See,
Oh,
Alëna
you
doesn't
need
want to
presents.
sparkle, so she won't spend that.
Yeah, you might take ag.
Tereza might at some point. Who knows?
The sound of cracking, tearing, and reorganizing of flesh sounds not dissimilar to a deck of cards being shuffled. The sound of rhythmic tack, tack, tack. And then, as soon as the noises begin, they are silent again. and Alëna steps fully formed from the stable door.
You made it safe then. Good.
We did, as did you. I take it you had no complications while you were resting?
No. No complications.
We were just discussing a snack before we go to this church for our pickup delivery.
I could eat.
Wonderful. There's an inn nearby. And I think there'll be some selections that will all be to our liking.
Yes. It's been a while since it's been too long. 2 weeks dragged on for felt like months. Let's go partake of
Yes.
communion together.
Yes, let us break bread. Or break bones. I can't remember which one it's supposed to be.
The door will open again. Dominic will return, carrying a flight of keys in his hand. My lady, I have acquired a large room for you. He passes the key beyond you to Clara. As well, a room for Bastien and Rainald. Alëna, I have acquired a room if you would like it. If not, I shall pass it on to Bastien or Rainald to have their own chambers.
They can have it. If I must sleep under a roof, I will sleep in the barn.
Well said. I have scouted out the room. There are quite a few people in there. Mostly farmers, workers, and city folk. The town's not terribly large, but there are enough there that you should be able to feed without arousing too much suspicion. There's a dark corner at the back of the bar. And your rooms, of course.
Very good.
Lady Tereza, I see Dominic is just as impressive as always. Thank you for providing for the room.
Do you head inside?
Oh, yes.
The inside of the tavern is welcome and warm after the long travel. There's a bit of a celebration in progress. Many of the townsfolk are hoisting their cups, talking about a recent wedding, a recent sport match. Looks like some strongman competition in town. There's a lot of laughter in the air. And this is a large enough town that though you are a disparate group, people don't look at you too askance. There are the typical eyings and sizings as you enter. Local pickpockets, cut purses, and the like. But for the most part, Dominic and Carl, walking in as a set of men-at-arms, draw most of the attention and the aggro from the crowd. There's a fat woman behind the bar, pushing into her 30s with long blonde hair braided down to her quite voluminous ass. She's wearing a low-cut milkmaid's shirt and is flirting with many of the men at the bar. She seems like she probably imbibes about as much beer as any two men there. And her cheeks are rosy, but unlike her customers, she seems to be able to hold her liquor. As you enter, her blue eyes spy you, and she makes her way over toward anybody who wishes to acquire a beverage. What are you all doing looking around? And Alëna, are you entering?
I think she'll enter at this point. She just might get bored quickly and leave. But she's also, I was actually just thinking to myself, because it's been 2 weeks, she's mostly been keeping an eye on Cesar, is his name, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Cesar, yeah.
Because there hasn't been any risk for him doing anything along route. We haven't seen many people, and so I think she's like debating whether or not to bring it up now, like not now, but in the meantime. So I think she's sticking close to the group at this point.
Understood. It's a good scene in here. Is anybody doing anything in particular? So Alëna actually has entered a place. Can I get a perception and alertness roll from everyone here? This is eyesight based.
Is this intuitive?
It is not. Well,
Is it
for you,
vibes?
I'll give you intuitive and vibes, actually, now that I think about it.
Oh,
Nice.
2 on 2 dice. 9 out of 10.
Is it wilderness related? No, I know it's not.
It is not. Wouldn't that be great?
Unless-
Wilderness in the bar. There's just a wolf hanging out drinking at
what
the bar.
was the difficulty?
6, please. And don't forget, if you have Auspex, you can choose to lower the difficulty.
I rolled 2 1s and 2 10s in my pool as well as others, but it's just like wild. Oh right, I forgot I have Auspex. Yeah.
I rolled 2 1s, an 8 and a 9, and a 2 and 2 3s. So 0.
Perfect. So, Alëna, the smell of this place, the enclosed humanity, the fact that there are flames licking in the fireplace and lanterns burning inside of the establishment are enough to keep you enough at edge that you're just a little distracted at first. You're not used to being indoors with this. This is like, what if I walked into like a slaughterhouse where I'm just like, wow, there's a lot of cows here, you know? Like, that's kind of the vibe that you're getting. Rainald, you got how many successes? 1? 2? Okay.
2.
Bastien, you got 4, and you got 2. Tereza, this is going to be very intuitive to you. Bastien, as you enter, the flames are going to burn a bit brighter in the nearby lanterns. And as they do, all of you are going to notice this first. They burn brightly, and then the wind from the door is going to find their way into the lanterns, lowering the light so that you're all backlit. And yet, in spite of this, you see a singular shadow creep forward toward the laughing people. You can see their shadows cast down on the floor from the fireplace, and this shadow will creep along the floor. And you will see it seems to reach up onto their table, where you could see a massive boar being eaten away at. The men are going and celebrating. They're drinking heartily over by the fire, cutting bits of this boar off with knives. One of these knives is plunged right into the boar's head, gouging its eye out. And yet, the shadow of that knife is pulled away And if you were just to look at the shadow, you would not see a group of men laughing and drinking and having a feast. You would see an old crone of a woman draw the knife and cut each and every one of the men's throats in the sequence that they laugh loudest to quietest. And that shadow is connected to Tereza's feet.
They dead?
No, the men continue laughing and hooting and hollering, but if you were to look down, it's basically like looking at their reflection is doing something real weird.
Oh, it's what I'm seeing is the
The
It's
shadow.
Peter
Shadows.
Pan.
It's
It's
Peter
the Peter
Pan, yeah.
Pan, Dracula, shadow. Yeah,
Yeah.
my flower. I love it. I'm so excited to see it in action.
Oh, I'm sure she means nothing by it.
Lady Tereza, your shadow is betraying you.
What do you
What's the
mean?
meaning of this?
It's
Oh, you can see that too, Rainald.
Yes. And hopefully nobody else can.
They're having merriment, and I doubt any would be paying attention. Do you do that
Polite.
on purpose, or
no. It's been a while since it's done that. It is side effect that seems to happen. I do not know the cause or the reason, logic behind its movements, or when it chooses to betray my deepest desires, maybe? I do not know. But I'll have to keep a watch out for that. It's apparently being active. It could cause problems. And Tereza's gonna go walk over to some of those gentlemen laughing.
Oh, interesting. Because you're not the only one, but you'll actually be able to beat him to it. As you step over that way, Alëna, one of the things that is keeping you occupied, Alëna, is that you're keeping an eye on Cesar. But Cesar actually is starting to make his way over to this table before his great whatever manages to make it there first. However, as you're watching Alëna, a man is going to stumble up, drag himself over and lean on a post next to you. I've not seen you around here before. You want beer? I have beer for you. Beautiful wild woman. You look like you like to hunt. I am a hunter. My name is Bjorn.
You're a small man. Go away.
I'm big where it counts. You don't like beer?
Bastien looks at his neck? Yes.
He's got decent-sized veins. Like, honestly, like...
Oh, vascularity's up there? Okay.
Alëna's going to actually kind of lean closer and do that little like fingers kind of along the jaw until she grabs his neck. Go away.
Yes, my wild lady. He puts his hands up, spilling a bit of beer on both of your shoes. Unintentionally, it seems.
I'll just kind of like shove him backwards by the neck.
He is going to impact a table behind him, spilling a beer. A large farmer that's probably an extra 6 inches taller than him is going to stand up and... You've got to be fucking kidding me. And just socks him across the jaw, sending him spinning into the front wall of the tavern. Bastien, what are you doing? Well, Yona, what are you doing?
He seemed nice.
No.
Not your type?
No.
The camera is going to pan as Tereza wanders across the inn, over to the fireplace. Tereza, you're approaching these men. There are 6 men, all of various builds and sizes. They look very hale and healthy, though. You'd say that they're probably in their late 20s. Good fatherly age, to start rearing your kids for the first time. The scrawniest
like
of them...
15 years late for that, given the time period.
Well, they probably have like 10-year-olds at this point. But one of them is probably the youngest, a slightly smaller boned man who looks like several of the others. In fact, honestly, you'd say most of them are probably brothers or cousins. All dark hair, strong-jawed stock. A couple of them even handsome. The youngest one of them is quite drunk, and is drunkenly picking away at the pig's remaining eyeball, trying to eat it, while his other hand droops below the table and pets a stray cat that is munching on a bit of hog fat.
Sorry for the interruption. I couldn't help but hear your laughter ringing above the tavern inn.
Several of the men, the older ones especially, will immediately stand up, smoothing out their fat and meat-stained jerkins. One will smack the young man to force him to stand up out of his stupor. And then they will bow their heads. The first one will say, I hope it was not a disturbance for you, my lady. We did not realize that there was anyone of your station present.
Oh. No, I was merely coming over to partake. I am new to this area, just passing by, and I wanted to get a bit of a taste of young life again. As you can tell, I am not youthful as much as I used to be. Yes, a ladyship is part age, but I am wanting to experience youth again.
Yes, I'm Volchkan, and the tallest and oldest looking one, who has a bit of a growth of a beard, will say, these are my brothers and my cousins, and my youngest brother, Stanko. We are the Gajiks. We are blacksmiths and ironmongers. We keep the city strong, and Stanko was married 2 nights ago. He is only recovering now from his consummation.
Congratulations are in order.
Thank you.
You bed her well?
Hold on, let me just roll to see how drunk he is on a scale of 10. He does work for a living, even though he's kind of scrawny.
What did Tereza just say?
I said, did you bed him well? Or bed her well?
Goddamn.
Yes. Yes. I filled her with many flagons of seed, my lady. We will have strong children, and I will name one after you.
I would not burden your family with the name of a stranger. But I appreciate the sentiment. It is unfortunate that you are just married. I was hoping to feel youthful again. And you look like a strong stud. It's unfortunate.
If you're looking for stud, then Sambor. He smacks one of the other, a more square-headed man, but definitely a bit broader. Definitely has like these very like veiny, scarred, mostly hairless forearms that look like they're used to working a forge. Sambor lost his wife last year. He is a widower, and is always in need of company, my lady.
Well, why don't you buy me a drink and we can see where this evening takes? I promise you, I may look old, but I am far hardier than you could imagine and experienced.
Perfect. Can you make me a persuasion and... Oh, boy. Actually, pardon me. Make me a charisma and... Oh, no, make me an appearance.
Oh, no!
Is your appearance 1?
Yeah!
Okay, well...
Manipulation?
Yeah, okay. Make me a manipulation and...
Subterfuge? Empathy? Expression?
Expression, empathy, or leadership.
Sure. That will work.
So, if I had to say, this man is probably quite large. Dark-haired. And,
Oh, how dare! How dare! Well, of course. Yeah, of course.
I just sent Robin a picture of Henry Cavill and his 4 brothers because that is the most disparate-looking set of brothers I've ever seen. And I'm like, it's number 1. It's not number 1 is Sambor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. He'll do.
He's not bad looking. He looks kind of like
Those people are related?
Oh yeah, those are Henry Cavill's brothers.
I mean, they all looked like James Bond, but none of them look related.
They all have the same forehead.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
great.
was going to say, I think they all have the same sort of like nose and like not so much the forehead, but the nose and the
And the eyebrows.
the mouth shape.
All right, it's interesting. So go ahead and give me that roll at a difficulty of 8.
Okay.
I'll say
Alright.
old, but you're very rich
Uh-huh.
from the looks of it, and these guys are merchants.
And eager.
And yeah, like honestly, I would send my brother to sleep with an old woman if it guaranteed me a fortune. Who wouldn't send their brother to go sleep with an old woman to guarantee them a fortune, really, all right?
All right, that is a single success.
All right. I will, what kind of drink do you prefer, my lady? They have a red ale here as well as a beer, but perhaps some other lighter spirits.
Do they have wine? I prefer red.
Yes, I will see what I can get. One moment. And Sambor will stand up and head over, and he does have a cute tuchus.
Nice.
Yeah. He stands all day long, so that makes sense. Meanwhile, as you're there, you'll be flanked by your great-grandson. Great-great-grandson? I forget how many greats he is. Who is going to lean forward and say, "Congratulations. Congratulations on your nuptials." And is going to reach forward and pluck the remaining eye out of the boar's head and pop it into his mouth. And chew it with an open-mouthed viscosity.
Oh.
However, as he does it, he is going to attempt to see how well he can pull this off. Oh my god, he's actually... So he has a charisma specialization in gall. Like, not galls, but like the gall of it. And I just got 3 successes for him to be that guy that just shows up, drinks the drink you just ordered, and makes you think it was funny. They're going to take one look at him, look him up and down, and just start grinning and say, "Excuse me, lady, is this man bothering you? Do you want us to take him out and pummel him?"
No. He's just had a long day, but, I mean, you could do that, but, I do need him later. He is part of my escort. But,
Cesar will lean in and say, "Although if I can be spared a little bit and there's not too big of a line behind the bride, I wouldn't mind getting my rocks off, too."
Bold. But what
He'll give
can I
you
say?
a wink and pull up to, he'll steal Sambor's seat. And before long, Sambor will return with a goblet of wine for you. Now, as that occurs, let's cut back across the bar to Rainald or Bastien. Rainald, you've been particularly quiet. What are you doing inside of this inn?
Oh, I want to approach immediately after the kerfuffle, the gentleman that was hitting on Alëna.
All right.
And I'm going to just kind of walk up to him and be like, my friend, I will make you a deal. You tell me your sins, we have a laugh about God, and I will tell you the one thing that you'll ever need to know about my friend Alëna.
Make me a manipulation and subterfuge roll, please.
Absolutely. I'm actually pretty decent at that. Oh, wait, I think I have him.
You're La Sombra. You should be.
Eyes of Shadow. So
Shadow.
difficulty
Perfect.
5.
Difficulty 5, yeah. He's a little sauce, so definitely difficulty 5.
Oh, holy shit.
You rolled horribly, I guess.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You can tell me anything about your god that you want, or our lord that you want. I wish to make her my Mary Magdalene.
Well, why don't we step outside and find somewhere where we talk to each other in private?
Yes, Father. Yes. And he'll mark his own forehead with spilled beer and the sign of the cross and step out into the alley with you.
Excellent. I'll try and find somewhere quite distant away from, just out of the way, as behind, just somewhere far off from where we are and ask him. I was like, but first, tell me your sins. And
Sins.
repent, dominate.
I'm just going to say it works because he's not special. Looking down at him and calling down your vampiric discipline, you're going to bend his will like it were a length of straw. He will crumple. I took from the tithe plate when I was 13. It was only a couple of coins. I know it was stealing from the church, but my mother was ill and I needed to buy food for my house. I coveted my neighbor's wife. He'll list off a litany of actually surprisingly minor sins. His worst one is he watched his neighbor's wife get changed through a crack in their shared wall, and did other things during that. But you know, he's a bit of a peeping Tom. That's literally the worst that you can say. And given the guys that you normally do this to, that's pretty light.
Yeah. Okay. Once he's been given the opportunity to relieve himself of all of his sins, Rainald's gonna just stare down at him for a moment. And then he's gonna lean in
Feel
closely.
better.
Good. Now the one thing that you should know about Alëna is that the only thing you should fear more than her is God. And then take a bite.
Okay. How much are you drinking?
You know what? This guy, he's not my usual, so I'm going to take 3.
Okay. 3 points of vitae, 3 points of blood.
Like enough to try and keep him unconscious as if he just had a hangover, too much to drink, and lying in a
Sounds
ditch
good.
somewhere. And leave him there. I will get 1 extra out of efficient digestion and head back to the tavern.
All right, heading back into the tavern. What are Alëna and Bastien doing before we cut back to Tereza and the nightmare fuel that I'm sure she has coming?
Alëna, I think, is strictly watching Cesar now, especially after that display. Is just like waiting for him to fuck up, and she will be there.
That sounds. Oh my god, he's really good at this. This is why he never gets caught. So we're going to do a little bit of time dilation with tonight's events. So you're going to be keeping an eye on him mostly. What I want you to do is keep an eye on him with perception and alertness. You can pretend to nurse a drink or just sit nearby some of the other people around here. Some of your other retainers.
That's 6 successes.
Okay. We're going to cut back to you in a minute, Alëna, because you are going to...
She's hyper focused on this dude. She
apparently...
didn't notice anything else in this place. She's just like, you.
Perfect. Bastien, what's your night looking like?
Well, Bastien has the merit harmless, so they don't even really need to use obfuscate, but he's just going to walk and follow whatever visions through the crowd, noting anyone's aura of interest, and if the night, all the individuals here, if it takes him nowhere, then he's just kind of like absorbing everything, listening to every conversation, making sure his friends, making like a spatial map of what his friends are doing, what they're saying, and where they're going.
Make me a perception and alertness or awareness roll. Your call.
And the difficulty?
Difficulty on that, if you're using awareness, 8. If you're using with alertness, it'll be just 6.
Ooh, no ones. 4.
4 successes. Now we're using alertness or awareness.
I have both at 2, so whichever would help.
Okay. Was
With
that 4 successes at 8?
It was 4 successes at 8, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're going to notice that the woman behind the bars, the large woman, is definitely a bit haler and heartier. And there's something about her that is very vibrant. It's not as vibrant as others you've seen with this type of aura, but it is, her colors are brighter. She's very bored, a little lusty, and just a little bit hungry for something to happen tonight. She's on autopilot. Besides that, the people here are quite celebratory. They're even being fairly welcoming of others in your entourage. Carl, as well as Eugene, and well, even a couple of people are giving space, but being courteous to Clara, who is eating a hot meal over at a table with Carl watching over, next to Lena. Even from this angle, it almost looks like they are a young family. However, there's one more thing that you're going to notice. Over by the men who are enjoying their meal and chatting, you are going to see that there is something drawing your eye. There is a person sitting in the corner dressed in traveling clothes. It's a woman, or a very frail man. All in all, this person can't weigh more than 120 pounds. About 5'4", 5'3". They're wrapped in a traveling cloak, sitting opposite the fire in the darkest corner. A hood is pulled up over their face, and you can see the long, dark hair is spilling out over a simple brown, stained and torn tunic. Their aura is very pale.
Well, I seem to have found someone to go and talk to. And, you know what? Before you had said, except for one thing in the corner, I was going to be like, oh, okay, so everyone's safe and everyone's in control of everything. And you were like, pulled a Columbo. One more thing.
Always.
I'll make my way over to this unusual aura.
As you approach, this tiny person kicks off one of the riding boots that they're wearing, and you can see small toes. No socks underneath. They pull it onto their lap, pull out a small dagger, and begin cleaning underneath their toenails, flicking the dirt and grime onto the ground. Yes? How can I help you? a much lighter voice than I could ever do, like almost squeakily feminine.
I think that the threads of fate have brought me to you.
Mm-hmm.
May I sit?
Of course, sure. It's a tavern, or at least this part of it. Here, sit in that chair. She gestures over to one that has its back to the fire.
Thank you. What
take a seat?
brings? Yeah, what
Cool.
brings
Make me a
you?
dexterity and athletics roll, please, at a difficulty of
Oh,
8.
mother of what? Okay.
Sat with your back towards the fire.
Oh, I see. Dexterity. Sorry, dexterity.
Dex and athletics at 8, please.
Oh, mother of.
And
I was like, you are an idiot.
I'm gonna Cal, tell me what you get.
I have nimble. with
Nice.
that.
Yeah, totally. Let's say difficulty 4.
Mother of.
Concerning.
Yeah, concerning.
That's
You know what? Not spending willpower. That's right.
I wouldn't on this personally.
Oh, wait, difficulty 4?
Sure.
Whoa. One's cancel?
Yes.
1.
Cool. I'm gonna use unlucky on you to make you fail the roll.
Right. Is that what that does?
I believe you took that, yeah. Or at the very least you took something else that definitely
No, I have unlucky.
I believe that means I can choose you to fail once a night. And so
Only once.
I think it's only once. I know, right? You are going to take a seat back. You're going to lean back hard into the chair. And as you do, the world is going to just fall out from under you as you realize there's no chair behind you. Oh, shit. And you're going to fall to the ground, roll, and are going to end up with your face about 2 feet away from the fireplace. I need you to make me a courage roll at a difficulty of 6, please.
My hair is very
Your hair is very flammable.
dry. It's the product I don't use. Courage roll.
Courage roll.
Holy Lord. I actually have some surprising courage.
But does Bastien?
Okay, difficulty.
Difficulty 6.
Okay, and 10s just don't.
10s explode. Yep.
Oh, they do?
Sure. Why not?
4.
Okay, so you are going to get about a foot away from the fire. Your face is going to feel the flames licking at you, but you're going to be able to quash the beast down. What do you do?
I could have swore there was a chair right there.
The fucking idiot! She is cackling, her eyes out in the corner. The threads of fate have brought us together. You sound like my fucking great-grandmother. You have tarot cards too.
I put away my tarot card deck. No.
Maybe look before you put your ass down. You fucking ponce.
Is anyone else laughing?
nobody else seemed to notice.
Oh, that's a shame.
Now what do you want? Lick?
What are you doing here?
I was going to... Are you coming over here to sit, or am I shouting this across the tavern at you?
I scramble over like a four-legged creature and have a real seat this time. Double checking the chair.
If we're going to be honest, I was going to rob your friends. They look very wealthy. They can probably afford to lose a couple of coins.
Oh, of course. That's all?
I do have this unshakable need to take from people who have too much.
I feel that too.
Oh. Maybe the threads of fate did bring us together.
Maybe.
What's your name, Jester?
Bastien. What is
Bastien.
yours?
Parlez-vous français, Bastien?
Oui.
Oh, mon Dieu! Sacre bleu! I've traveled through France. It's a shithole.
That's what my
Kisaya.
mother always said.
They chased my people out of there, but to be fair, just about everybody chases us other places. It's probably because we have the nicest wagons.
The French have the nicest wagons.
Not the French, they're Omani, you prick. All
Well,
the
that
French
makes
do
a
is
lot
fuck
more
goats and
sense.
make cheese.
I thought it was fuck cheese and make goats.
Eh. Comme ci, comme ça.
And what did you say your name was?
Kisaya. Kisaya
Kisaya.
heart. Like the deer, not the bump bump. Mine hasn't gone bump bump in a long time. And I can tell by the way that you were looking at the fire that you are a queer one as well. Did you get the bite?
Yes, I've gotten the bite.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I didn't do it. Why would I be sorry? I'm fucking lying, of course. I don't care.
I like you.
I don't hate you.
That's probably one of the best first impressions I've given then.
No, I hate her. And she will point across the bar at Tereza, who links arms with a tall, rather beefy-looking blacksmith named Sambor, and begins guiding him up the stairs to the sleeping rooms. But not before turning. And you guide anybody else with you?
She will turn to look at Dominic and just not even say anything, just crook her finger in a motion.
He will stand
And
up
walk
and
up.
immediately follow you as the two of you head upstairs to conduct intimate business. Do you say any last thing before you exit the scene?
I told you I'd get you your reward.
Yes, my lady.
You will watch.
And with that, the two of them, along with this Sambor, exit the scene. Her I dislike. She thinks whatever she wants, and her shadow's fucking creepy. I'm surprised nobody else noticed that.
You're surprised?
No, people are fucking stupid. That's how I stole that one's purse. That's how I stole that one's, I don't even know what this is. She pulls a bag of teeth out of her pocket. Ah, and there was that strange fellow that was passing through town the other night. Look at this. And she reaches into her pocket and draws forth a small Islamic holy symbol. Weird this fellow. Dark skin like night. Made no sound when he moved, but I have very fast hands. Especially when I'm pretending to be a pile of shit.
May I touch that?
Talking about this?
I would never.
Yeah, you can touch it. Here, take it. I don't want it. It's dirty heretical bullshit. It's like a crucifix. Fuck it. And she'll hurl it in your chest.
Going to
I can't sell it. It's not worth the silver it's made from to any of the merchants around here.
Something else might come of it, though. And I'm going to use Auspex to read the object. It is called.
Yep.
It's Auspex 2, but
Auspex 3, if I'm not mistaken.
or 3.
Yep,
Woo,
you're using your
disciplines, go.
psychometry. Let's go.
Where are you?
That's a fun
Don't
one.
mind me. I'm just whipping around the book, my friends. Oh, I'm at animalism. Ah, here we go. Ooh, sudden revelations, overstimulation. Don't worry, I almost fell in the fire. Read the soul. Or is it the spirit's touch? Ah, there we go. That one. Perception plus empathy. Okay. A stake.
Would you?
So pile of ash that's like an hour old is maybe difficulty 4. A stake that's killed a vampire 5 days ago might be difficulty 6.
Let's say that this is
And
difficulty of 5. It's a possessed item.
Okay. Oh, and then the number of successes matter, so I'm going to spend 1 willpower. Oh, that's some 10s. Difficulty. It was difficulty 6, you said?
Difficulty 6, yeah. Give it to me.
7, including the willpower.
7,
A wealth
including
of
the willpower.
information is available. Nearly anything you want to know about the person's relationship to the object.
What would you like to know?
Is this person kindred?
Yes.
Are they still here?
They are not. They are nearby. They are one of a pair of kindred that came from around Turkey. This man is named Faraj. He is a kindred. And is here delivering someone that they caught delivering one Goratrix. For the past several weeks, they have been holed up in the crypt of the sepulchre.
I have some business to attend to. Will you be here long?
Of course. I have to rob your friends.
Well, in that case, the priest usually collects tithes as well. He might be an easy mark.
Then I might have to go find religion yet.
He's particularly interested in converting, well, absolving people of their sins, so someone like you must have barely any.
It takes one to know one. What is that supposed to mean? Yeah, hi, how's it going? Do you have your eyes shut?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm assuming.
I hope so.
You can keep it shut instinctively, unless you take a flaw. That means you can't. So as you go to head out and watch your, complete your business, Alëna, you are going to watch over the course of the night as one by one, Cesar gets closer and closer to this groom, insinuating himself and making himself just the coolest guy at the party. He's out drinking people, he's out joking people, he's being just this arrogant fuck that is just on the edge of funny. And as he's doing that, the last thing that you're going to hear before we take a quick break is him wrap his arm around the very inebriated groom and say, "Come on, man. I should probably help you get home to that beautiful wife of yours. You look like you could pass out at any moment. I'd love to meet her. Why don't we go take a walk?" And I think that's probably where we should take a quick break. So folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the part of the program where we're going to talk to the chat. It's Vamp Chat, Vamp Talk. We're going to vamp for a few minutes. Ha ha ha. So, hi. Hope you're enjoying being back. You know what I love about World of Darkness games? D&D games are fun. And I love fantasy settings. I absolutely love fantasy settings. But there's something really nice about just being able to sink back into it and not have a combat primary game. And like, just... it's so nice. And the system is so much more role-playing focused. I think you forget about that until you spend a lot of time playing another system, just how World of Darkness and similar systems place so much more of an emphasis on like social and mental realms. I really miss
I was
it.
gonna say D&D feels like, oh, if you're role playing too much, you're wasting rolls, like time. You're wasting time for not
Well, and
rolling.
we've had
versus like
YouTube
this
comments
is-
about that, right? Like that are like, "Oh, you guys are talking too much. Where's the action?" And it's like, well, I mean, like this is the action. Like we're getting a lot more character work done here, which is why I'm excited that in 2025, I know that it's like 6 months away or whatever at this point, 5 months away.
Too soon.
Too soon.
I heard somebody talking about Christmas music in Starbucks today, and I was like, no.
No, it's Halloween time right now.
Yeah, it's a spooky
It's been Halloween
season.
since June.
I love that as of July, they were already putting like Halloween stuff in like the TJ Maxx stores in Canada. And I'm just like, yeah, let's claim it. Let's do it.
July-ween.
July-ween. Summerween, everybody. Carve your pumpkin or your watermelons. I love it. But I'm excited. We're going to be doing a lot more World of Darkness stuff in the new year, and some of you are already informed of that. In fact, all of you are in something because you're all World of Darkness nerds. I am very excited for this though because it means that we get to do more of my favorite games, and it's going to be going on Patreon primarily because I have to make a living and YouTube pays some money, but you know, it has to go somewhere. And so if you're not on the Patreon, consider it. Also, I wanted to thank everybody for being patient. I've had a really rough couple of basically the last month and a bit has been really rough with like life, health, schedule, family stuff for me. So I'm a little behind on editing. I'm a little behind on getting a couple things up. Robin has been an absolute darling and has been hired on as a copywriter or copy editor for me. And has been working on the D&D Heroic Histories guide that we made. She's been putting together the document. It's pretty much, I'd say it's in a releasable but not like polished to the point where we want it state right now, all because of her. Like she got this thing back on its legs by spending like 10 hours doing formatting the other day. So thank you so much, Robin. But I'm really excited that we're going to be doing like so much more stuff. And I want to thank you for being patient while I got stuff out. I realized we hadn't put out a Fan Delver episode on YouTube for like 3 weeks today. And it's because I kept being like, oh, I'll put it out next week. It'll just be a couple days late. And then something happened. And then I just like, I'm so far behind on releasing YouTube content and podcast stuff. So I'm really sorry. I'm going to do my best to get that pumped out this week. And by Monday at the latest to get back on a regular schedule. So I really appreciate y'all. You guys are amazing. And I will also try to sleep. I slept until like 1 p.m. today because I guess I was very tired.
Also, real quick,
Yes.
for those that are in the know, speaking of Patreon, I don't know if anyone's heard of the kerfuffle, but if you are an Apple user and want to support Patreon and not have Apple gut us more, sign up on your payments through like your desktop browser instead of an Apple app, because Apple is forcing Patreon to basically pay 30%
So
of your gross stuff.
Yeah, so that's if you are signing up through Apple Pay. So please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. Please go and use something else. Also, if you guys aren't on the Discord already, what the hell are you doing with your lives? Get on our Discord. It's great. I'll spam you with stuff. You'll see a bunch of memes. Oh, and Jen, let me know if you want to do another episode of Paradox with me on anything. I'm down.
I'm 2 weeks late on everything, so.
But if I'm on the episode, you can say, you can just blame me.
I mean, fair. I do have something I would like you for, but I need to plan my life better, and I start school again in a couple of weeks, so yay.
Fair. I mean, like, life is really busy, and summer's really, really busy. Like, Jen, you're constantly away during the summer doing SCA stuff. You becoming a master of some arcane thing.
Of information. Actually, I'm not. Technically, it's Masters of Information Management, but I desperately want to be to have gone into the Master of Information program, but none of them are distance education. And
Which sucks.
however, I have looked, and potentially, if I could wrangle it, I might be able to get a Doctor of Information.
Oh, really? Yeah, that makes sense that you'd be able
In
to
theory.
upgrade that. So here's a question: if you were a vampire clan, what clan would you be? And let's tell each other.
Why is
what
it the
clan
Tremere?
you- Why is it the Tremere? You'd probably be a Tremere. Jen would probably be a Tremere, or
Okay. No, here. I have I have this NPC in my Monday non-Dork Tales game.
Mhm.
I have an NPC because sometimes our storyteller is like, playing 6 NPCs at a time is terrible. And I'm like, fair. And also it's a mage, so he trusts me to do it. So it's a hermetic, it's an
Mhm.
alchemist hermetic who we probably will end up being embraced Malkavian, lose all his magic, and then go diablerize a Tremere to get magic back. And that's me. That is me.
fair?
Kelly was
Fair.
saying
Yeah.
we're giving each other.
Name
Their
point
clan.
at somebody and say what clan they are.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think Malkmere is pretty good for Jen.
Yeah.
Tremalk is way better.
Tremalk.
Tremalk.
Tremalk is way better. Yeah.
Three mounts
Robin-
in a trench coat. Robin's a Toreador. Point blank.
Robin's Toria. Yeah.
Robin's an emo wine-loving snob. Like, I'm sorry, like you're a Toreador.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm a Toreador.
If it was a little less emo, maybe a Ventru, but yeah, I think Toreador
Yeah, that's what I
fits.
was thinking too. Yeah. A little less emo,
Yeah.
little more like
If we're doing cam clans
Uh,
anyway. Cam clans, they're the easy ones. Yeah.
yeah, like
What is Chris?
yeah.
then?
a little
Chris?
more what's the word?
Chris? Chris is like, if we're talking cam
Ventru.
clans, I think Chris is a
They're
Ventru.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
like
But he's like-
Brent True.
He's like a Ventru that doesn't get too far ahead because he actually does his own work.
Mm.
Right? I think
Good
that's
one, like one you'd actually want as the prince, in contrast to one that
exactly
would become
right.
the
Like he's always the whip, never the never the speaker type of guy. Because Chris actually
Like-
works hard.
dominate and presence and fortitude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
based on those.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mhm.
I feel like Kal, you've got some BGE. You got some big gangrel energy to you. But
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you're a
like
Malk.
more city gangrel, like
Yeah, more city gangrel.
more
but
city gangrel.
if we're allowing
Yeah.
a city gangrel, then yeah, you're either a city gangrel or a Malkavian.
Yeah. Or brew cavian. Yeah. What do you think?
Mm.
Because
It's
it's not
hard-
what I think. It's what
It's
you,
hard to
yeah.
point at people and say that they'd be a Brujah because like Brujah are so short-tempered.
Unless you go true
Mhm.
Bruja, in which case then they're super cold. So it's like the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I feel like there needs
City
to be like
gangrel. I like them.
yeah, city gangrel's pretty good.
Coyotes. Yeah.
Coyotes, coyote ugly. You dancing on tabletops?
In coyote form.
Coyote. Oh my God. Did I tell you? Okay. So one of the reasons that I've been a little late on stuff and the Fandelver episode tonight actually has me like broadcasting from Kansas City. As we're driving in, my mom picks me up from the airport. We're driving to her place outside Kansas City. And it is like in a city, right? Like it's in the greater Kansas City area. Like it's like a suburban kind of like mid-sized town. I'm not going to dox my mom. But as we are pulling into her housing development, which is basically like one of those like sprawling suburban McMansion type of like you know the type, right? It's like the mid 2000s communities with the HOAs and everything. We're pulling in and this is like a fully housed area and I look over at the first lawn and I go, "Wow, that's a really cute dog." Nope. It's noon and there's a fucking coyote right there just hanging out on someone's lawn scratching itself. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a
sec.
minute.
Wait a minute.
That's a coyote.
That dog is looking sus.
It's like the dog in the pack of ducks or raccoons or something, like raccoon and a bunch of cats. Like,
I've never seen a coyote like in the daylight before. So it really caught me off guard because you can kind of like, you always hear them in the country. You always can like kind of see.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They always have that like really yipping bark. And it's like, and it's one of the reasons because they've got like little Pomeranians. What are they? Things they got little fuzzy dogs, so they don't let them out by themselves. Havanese. Thank you. You know,
I know it because it's what my sister's mother-in-law breeds, and I'm like, huh.
They're fine. They're not real dogs. The real dogs were the ones my uncle has, which were.
That's what my mom has. My mom has Havanese. She's always had Havanese.
Your mom always liked really small dogs. It's interesting.
Also,
she lives
in a hotel room, basically.
That's true.
A converted hotel room. So.
What, Robin?
We need to diagnose you.
Yes, diagnose.
I don't think they're I don't think they're. This isn't anything about anybody that would be Tremere, but I don't think you're bootlicker enough to be Tremere.
Nah, probably not. I did very poorly in academia for that reason.
That's hard. Probably.
Right?
See, I'm thinking a little bit of Toreador because you are about passion and your art as well.
I think the Toreador and the Ventru, but Ventru have presence and dominate, which but so do Tremere. What is presence? Because I feel like it'd be the presence.
Come on, what are you talking
about?
Ooh, sweet, we can get cheap viewers.
Bruja. What else has presence? Toreador, Bruja, in the cam at least.
Yeah.
Ventru. It'd be like Toreador and Ventru, but like one of them is trying to snipe from the other one.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's like heavy on the Toreador, light on the Ventru, but combined.
I'm a no. Actually, Chandra's right. Chandra's saying that I'm a Deva from Requiem, and that is correct.
Yes.
I'm a Deva, 100%.
Yes, which is Toreador and Ventru combined.
They're basically they took Toreador and
Requiem at all.
Perception Studios. They basically took the Toreador and were like, what if these guys fucked you up? And then kind of rolled them together.
More than they already do?
Yeah, they're great.
Damn.
They basically just like they put the Bruja, the followers of Set, and the Toreador in like a pot, and they simmered them until all the slag rose off, or they rendered the fat off.
I need to look this up. I'm not familiar.
They're really good. There's only 5 clans in Requiem. So there's the Ventru, the Ventru, Gangrel, and Nosferatu. Nosferatu
and a shitload of bloodlines.
A shitload of bloodlines. I've written about 20 of them myself.
I like the mechanics in Requiem.
The world in Masquerade is better. Sense. The mechanics are better over there, unfortunately. But yeah. Also, good to see you here, everybody. Welcome. We're just taking our quick chat break. We're going to be hopping back into the action with a very graphic scene in just a minute. So,
content warning.
Content warning.
Content warning.
For the raid. We just gave each other what we think. We've also known each other for years and years, like outside of just this game, and we just gave each other each other's clans.
Kal, stop lying. I just met you yesterday.
Were you?
Nice try. Wait, can you defend against dominate?
I mean, yeah, sure. Just shut your eyes. Aha. Except including
the third one, yeah.
Yeah, close that one. Oh, thank you so much. Negachancy, if you are interested, there is a bunch of new Vampire the Requiem stuff that has been released on Storyteller's Vault. I wrote a bunch of it. Look up my name, Kelly J. Clark over there. Or
use that affiliate link down there.
Use that affiliate link. There actually was a brand new Requiem book that I wrote for that was released at midnight today. And it is, Faith and Fire and Blood Carthians. It's the 2nd edition version of the Carthian movement book, and I wrote the fiction for it. And it's a really good piece of noir fiction set in Singapore.
It's really good. I got to be a test reader, and it was really awesome to read. I loved it.
Thank you. And the final versions look really, really good, because it went through some very, very strict edits to make it rad. But go check it out. It's not that expensive, and we also wrote Requiem for Rome 2nd edition, which is one of the favorite things I've ever written, because I had Gould pigs. There was a Gould boar.
So is it the Fire and Revolution
Fire and
Carthians?
Revolution.
I bought that
Carthians.
just for the pigs.
It is.
Thank
It
you.
is right now. It is number 1 in the hottest community vampire. The Requiem
Ooh.
spot on Storyteller's vault.
Oh,
Dark Era Rome is 2nd. Bloodlines the Resurrection. I don't know if did you write stuff for that, Kelly?
Maybe. I've written
Maybe.
all
And then
Bloodlines.
Wild Hunt Gangrel is.
I
number 4
definitely
right
wrote
now,
for
too.
that. I wrote some really
Yeah,
cool.
I know you
That's
did.
where I wrote the.
Oh yeah, none more. Yeah.
The,
You're listed as author on Dark Eras too. Nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I wrote for
Requiem for
a bunch of stuff. Basically, like None More Dark is like all of the Chronicles of Darkness stuff. Like we're top of the list on basically everything except for Shallow Graves. Was what I'm seeing there. But it's a really cool company.
yes, that's the Shufflehead one.
The Shovelhead
The
one.
fiction for your Sin Again, Deva, is so good. I love reading that.
It has a really graphic sex scene in it, set to
That's why I liked it.
implied, because as my editor says, you can never mention songs inside of fiction or any lyrics, because then you technically can get claimed for it. But there's this, so you can't, you're not supposed to put song quotes anywhere because it's just really risky. And there's a lot of Fleetwood Mac in that story. So just listen to Dreams on repeat and picture.
I already do that, so
right. Thunder only happens when it's raining.
After I 35 up, I was like, hey, let's check out these Fleetwood Mac. And then I was like, wait a second, this is good.
I was like, this is good. Fleetwood Mac is so interesting.
And it will happen to you.
Okay, last thing before we go back in. Everybody go listen to Fleetwood Mac, because it's got 2 songs in there, and they're 2 breakup songs from the same relationship. Like, because they were like a couple of members of Fleetwood Mac were dating at the time, and one of them was was it Dream? Okay, hold on. What's one side of it? It's just 2 songs that are completely different in terms of how they handled the breakup. And one's like, yeah, go live your life, be happy. And the other's like, you will never forget me, you bitch. And it's just like, whoa. It's very interesting though. And he had to play. It's true. All right, you guys ready to hop back in to a content warning?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you saw my little note in the chat, in our private chat.
I think that you could probably grab by some of the bone behind it without killing.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
Jokes on
I
you.
just think that there's not enough. I think
I
the
just want
rope
that visual.
The rope will tear.
Yeah.
If-
I
so-
know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna add one more thing to that, so just read it and then.
Oh, sure. Sounds good. In the meanwhile, while you're typing that, I will say, Vampire the Masquerade, Transylvania Chronicles is a work of fiction. It is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Getting some tainted love up in there.
Whoa.
Okay. So, with that, hello and welcome back to the Transylvania Chronicles here on Dork Tales. Before we continue, I just want to give a quick content warning for scenes of implied sexuality and body horror and gruesome things that can be done with claws. Viewer discretion is advised. Or a work of friction, as the chat just said. The tavern, down below in the inn's belly, is slowly coming to something of a quiet. The people are beginning to shuffle out. The bartender is beginning to close down shop. It is late into the night, and the storm is still raging outside. Rivers, sheets of water falling everywhere. As we slowly pan up, we are inside of the large yet meagerly accommodated room that Tereza dwells within. The solitary window in the room has been covered, reinforced to prevent any sunlight from entering. Tereza lies on the bed, her conquest fast asleep from spent time and blood loss. A little dribble of blood fallen down on the off-white sheets of this bed. Nearby, in a chair facing the bed, Dominic sits. It is a moment of afterglow and reflection. A bit of light conversation passing between vampire and ghoul. When suddenly, there is a splintering sound as the door rattles on its hinges, once and then twice. The sound of a whimper outside as the door gives way. The simple lock not holding up to the furious impact. Alëna, as you enter the room, bursting through the door, I'm going to give you narrative control to describe. Now, on the bed, I'm sure that Tereza is getting into a position of defense and Dominic is probably rising and grabbing for his sword, but tell me what you're doing.
Alëna is just vibrating with rage. And she pushes past the splintered lock and the rest of the door that probably barely works as a door anymore. And she pulls behind her the naked body of Cesar by her claws in his pelvic bone. And she throws him at the ground.
Blood streaks as he hits the ground and skids across the wood. You fucking bitch!
What is the meaning of...
He was taking of that man's wife. He made friends. He walked that man home, and while that man was unconscious, he went up and took.
I took nothing that she didn't want to give me. I saw it in her eyes.
But she didn't say it.
There is Tereza, just her face just goes still. And there is like a palpable shift in the energy in the room as Tereza gets off the bed and walks toward Cesar.
Grandmother, you can't let your friend do this to me.
I know you would not raise him this way. Obviously, he is a mistake.
Fuck you. I am a hunter. I hunt. And
You do not hunt that. You have been raised. You have been taught. And you do not take that. I know. You do not get to forgive. You are no family of mine. And she will reach out, spend some blood, and she will grab his mouth and fuse his teeth and lips shut.
All right. He will not resist. He is 3 points bloodbound to you, so he is the only thing he's going to do is scream into your hand as tears well up and begin to flow like the rivers in the streets outside from the downpour.
Alëna, I want to thank you for showing me this weed that has crept into my family garden. I would like to dispose of this weed, but I also understand that you are the one that found it. And I would like to offer a chance for you to dole punishment as you see fit, but please, leave him alive for me. I need to finish him.
I am satisfied with what I have done. He's all yours.
Dominic?
Yes, my lady.
I need you to take... She'll look at Sambor. I need you to take him away. I need you to try and find his family and return him to him. He has lost a lot of blood. I want you to... Actually, take him, find Rainald or Bastien, ask if he may sleep on one of their beds for the moment. He may return, but I need him to sleep, and I need you to watch him.
Yes.
I need you to return and watch this, because I need you to be able to send a word to the family and have their own eyes of what happens.
One moment, please.
When they break my one.
Nope, that's not enough. He's going to pause for barely a heartbeat. To anybody but you, it would look like he is just processing your words. But to you, you've seen that he usually, at this point, he's known you for hundreds of years and can react before you finish your sentences. Mm-hmm. He looks down at the man who is his son, and for half a heartbeat, looks like he's going to say something in his son's defense. Of course, my lady. And then immediately stands up. Because he fucking failed his willpower roll very spectacularly. He almost botched without that one success. That's a lot of ones.
Yeah.
He will go pick Sambor up as if... As he goes to the bed, can you do me a favor and roll me your humanity?
Difficulty? Difficulty
of 5.
Okay. Oh, that's a straight up fail, not a botch because of that 6. So 0.
You will have a brief flash that is immediately consumed by your rage. But for the briefest moment, and you might think about this later, but in this moment, not so much. Dominic approaches the bed and reaches down and picks Sambor up using his potence. The man must weigh 220 pounds. I mean, he picks him up like he was a child. And something about this reminds you of a time long ago when Cesar would be carried to bed after playing too long with the dogs. And Dominic would carry his still young son back to bed. But that's a thought for a later time. For as he carries Sambor out of the room, you will hear him bark at a couple of people. Go back to bed, now! There is nothing for you here. And, Rainald or Bastien, you heard this down the hall, this clatter. Which of you would be back inside of the inn at this point? Bastien, would you go out into the hallway when you heard this clatter?
Of course, I have to mediate such
Lord Bastien.
messy.
Dominic carries the body. This man needs a place to sleep for the night. My lady has asked that he have your bed, and that he be unharmed. I apologize for the inconvenience. Should you need my bed, you may have so. I will sunproof the room.
Unnecessary. I can make do.
I must return. Thank you. He lays Sambor down in the bed, who rolls over with an exhausted grunt, and then returns back to the room. Does anyone try to get into the room before he wedges it shut around the broken lock? Okay. Are you going in and obfuscate? Okay, perfect. Bastien, you are going to be able to sneak in easily and obfuscate, hiding yourself from the sight of any who is there. Alëna, are you still in the room to watch this?
Alëna is still in the room. She has Eyes of the Beast on, so her eyes are glowing red, and she crouches in a corner and watches with, like, rapt attention.
All right.
Rainald will probably still be kind of outside a little bit, but if he, like, in the area, if prowling, if he does hear what's going on, he will start making his way inside and then upstairs just to make sure things are all right.
Sounds good. As you head back upstairs, Carl will step out and meet with you. My lord. Father. It appears to be Lady Alëna brought back... I'm trying to remember what Carl sounds like. Lady Alëna brought back Caesar. They appear to be disciplining him. I am not sure if it is a family matter or not.
Keep watch. Try and make sure there aren't any inconvenient witnesses.
Yes.
I will take care of the rest. I'll
Of
head
course.
towards the room.
Excuse me, Father. Do you still need the strongbox? I can put it back where you had me hide it before otherwise.
What do you survive for such things?
You came by an hour ago asking for the strongbox's location and the key.
I most certainly did not.
You asked that I give them to
Where
you,
is it
and
now?
I gave you the strongbox and its key. You asked that I do 30 Hail Marys as penance for my transgressions. I was not sure what I had done, but I figured it was God's will.
And you said I asked for it?
Yes. Carl is a large man, and you have never seen him quite so small. Now, this isn't the only strongbox you have. You always split the goods, but this is about a third of your traveling funds.
Oh, we will deal with you later, Carl.
Yes.
Oh,
I will.
I don't think it was... No.
Unless...
You have a lot more reading to do.
I will continue with the Hail Marys. Father, Hail Mary, full of grace.
One thing at a time. He'll waddle over to the room.
Inside of the room, Tereza. Dominic returns and takes a seat, or stands nearby, however you direct him. You are the master of this play.
I think in this moment, Tereza's so fuming, and she doesn't even necessarily realize the sick irony of doing it, but she will ask him to take his seat that he had before for the previous play, to take it again.
Perfect. That is atrociously symbolic. That's great.
Yep. And Tereza is going to start by removing Cesar's voice box so he cannot scream.
All right.
You gave no voice.
Before my lady, perhaps...
Bastien appears out of nowhere. Or perhaps, do you have Obfuscate 4?
I do not.
Okay, so you were just going to appear out of nowhere, basically.
My lady, I can create I can make the room completely silent. If it helps you.
Yes. That would be very helpful, Bastien.
The trail of your word begins to vanish as he activates the silence. And with that, tell me, let's fade to black on this scene. For with a gangrel watching, a La Sombra standing idle, and a Salubri holding silence on this scene. The ministrations of his Amici are perhaps beyond the type of story that we can tell on a blow-by-blow. Why do we not summarize, then? Tereza, when this is done, what has happened?
What has happened is almost like a scientist has a dissection for
Actually,
display.
before you say that, I think it would probably be best, can I get you to make me a self-control roll?
Right. That's probably correct. That's probably
because
correct.
this is absolutely a frenzy trigger for you, and I think holding it in this long is about all that you would do.
Fair.
So let's say that this is difficulty 7 for you, because it is a particularly virulent trigger for you.
Yeah. I just roll my self-control, yeah?
You just roll your self-control?
Sorry, is it normally 7 and then plus any flaws? Or
oh, that's a good point. Can you roll a difficulty 9 because you have short fuse?
Yes, I do.
You have self-control 1 right now?
I do.
Okay, roll me a dice.
4.
Great. Then we're definitely going to have to fade to black, because this is about to be a much more... basically, you were going to hold it together by sheer rage while your beast is waiting. And it normally wouldn't work like this. Normally the frenzy would happen immediately, but there's something about this. Your beast inside knows it's about to be fed in a very aggressive way. So knowing that you frenzy on him instead, when it's all said and done, what does the room look like?
Oh my gosh. The room is indescribably painted with gore. We are not getting the cleaning deposit back from this hotel. There are just unrecognizable pieces of Caesar left, and probably everyone is covered in viscera.
Caesar really left his mark on this hotel.
Yep. Caesar just, you know,
painted the
he
town
really
red.
left. Yep. And she, like, finishes and just, she is still, I think in this moment, she still has not gotten necessarily, she probably has like a very, like a night coat on, very much the housewife that killed her husband vibe.
You're basically, no, I'm thinking the coat is completely been thrown off in the middle of this. You basically are a naked wild witch covered in blood. If anybody has played Left 4 Dead, like, it's gonna be one of those situations. I think, like, you're gonna look like the witch from that. This elongated, horrid old woman.
Yeah, I think she definitely, I know you can't quite control, but I think in her uncontrollable rage, I think probably her bone claws, or maybe not fully extended, but her everything has kind of lengthened out to become the apex predator to destroy him. And
wait, you frenzied?
Yes, she absolutely will frenzy. Yeah.
So it's probably good that the silence of death
was
cast, not because of the sounds they made, but maybe Tereza.
Yep.
There are a couple of things that I'm going to say right now, and content warnings abound, of course. When the scene ends, or the scene jumps ahead, we find ourselves with Tereza standing naked and bloody in the remnants of what was once her grandchild, Caesar. Now he looks like a pile of broken, squirting meat. The heart still beats enough that there's a little bit of arterial spray still coating the walls, but it's getting lessened with every beat. All of you are covered in blood. Tereza, you have bits of your grandchild between your teeth. There is silence throughout the room. And those of you with high perception scores are going to be able to see two things. Actually, I would like a perception and empathy roll from everyone here. Alëna, throw your head back and howl in the silence.
Do I get to make this roll?
Yes, you do.
Cute.
Oh, by the way, everyone, no sound can
It's not
be made inside of it, but
can you still hear from outside?
Outside sounds we can hear.
Oh,
That's interesting. That's weird. Okay, I like it.
That is.
I got 2.
2.
What's the difficulty? 6?
Difficulty of 6.
2.
2.
No, 3.
3.
3. Sorry.
That's different than 2. Good.
I know it is.
Oh, this is like my specialty, but I just got 1.
Okay. You're going to notice a couple of things as you look around. You're going to notice that Tereza feels good about this. As she comes out of frenzy, she comes out of it almost preening like a cat. You'll notice that Dominic, though, sits in the chair. There are tears in the corners of his eyes. Not fully weeping. In fact, the look on his face is completely impassive. His eyes betray him. As does the strangely stiffened bulge you'll notice below. Tereza, can I get everybody who watched this happen? Please do me a favor. This is going to count. You did nothing to stop it, so if you are at humanity 5, and if you're at humanity 5 or above. Bastien, what's your humanity? 5? Okay, give me a conscience roll at difficulty of... So it is difficulty of... We'll say 4. Pretty low for you.
I have visions, so that takes 2 dice away.
Okay.
Oh. Difficulty 4. Wait, ones take away?
They do.
1, 5, 6. So
1 success.
that would have been 1 success.
So this is you're going to be bothered by this. You do not lose humanity, but you are bothered by this scene. This was awful. It was basically like you silenced this so the tiger could eat the baby that fell into the cage. Like, that's what this feels like to you. Tereza, you did this. This is an impassioned violation, but you were intending to kill him regardless. So I'm going to give this to you at difficulty of... what's your humanity?
3.
Cool. Okay, then give it to me at difficulty of 6.
Because Alëna has basically planned this and brought him here to be killed.
I will count this as premeditated
I'm at humanity
murder as
4.
well. Go ahead and give me this
cool.
at difficulty of 7, please. Wait, did you roll a nat 1?
I rolled a 1.
Cool. I'm gonna scratch off my hurt them more. So, can you do me a favor? What is your you're gonna lose 2 dots of humanity.
Can I ask something then?
Yes.
Because of that? Because I think your virtues at 1 each, right?
Yeah.
One self-control, 1 conscience?
Yep.
Can this be her moment of truth?
Yes.
To potentially go onto her road?
Yes, I think 100%.
Because I'm down to humanity 1.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I was like,
Yep. I'm down to humanity 1.
So as Tereza emerges from this, I need you to understand the following things. Tereza, you do not even look human anymore. You no longer blink. You weren't breathing to begin with, but at this point, you can barely spend blood to flush and look human. Your eyes are shark-like, not in their appearance, but in their vibe. You radiate inhumanity. Basically, you have a maximum dice pool for dealing with humans of 1.
Nice.
When it comes to relating with humans, dealing with empathy, things like that. You are going to go into this as a monster and emerge somehow even more monstrous. Alëna, what did you get?
Oh, I failed. I rolled a 2 on my 1 die. So specifically I'm dropping humanity instead of my 2nd dot of self-control because that feels more appropriate to the moment.
That sounds good. And also for you were very self-controlled in this case, so I agree.
Exactly, right. So I'm at humanity 3 now, but self-control 2.
Perfect. All right. And with that, Bastien, do you return sound to the room as she pulls out of her frenzy?
And if I can, I will. I will go to Dominic. And just whisper, or rather say beside them, not to hide, but to reflect the tone. For the one in authority is God's servant for your good. But if we do wrong, be afraid, for our rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. We are God's servants, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. A Roman verse that holds well.
And as he looks up at you, you will look over his shoulder at a sudden bit of movement. You will see Cesar try to climb spiritually out of his sack of meat, screaming when fire ignites around him, Bastien, and you see these hands of charred red flesh reach up and grab him and pull him down into the flames as he screams. And then vanishes.
I don't mean to interrupt, but we've been robbed.
The second death, consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur, Rainald. It's real. Rainald, the cowardly, unbelieving, the vile, murderers, sexually immoral, those that practice the magical arts, the idolaters and the liars, Rainald. The second death is real.
Perhaps if we could have spoken, we could have tried to save his soul.
There is no place.
Alëna goes over, because I wanted to do this while they were talking. Alëna goes over, puts, because you said that there was some like arterial heart's blood still pumping until he died.
It's starting to...
She puts her finger in, pulls out more blood, and looks at Tereza, paints some on her face, and goes, "You may not be ordained in the cult, but I name you Vila now, should you wish it."
I very much do.
She's just gonna look down at the lump of meat. Be like,
I will take care of it, my lady.
We can. But let me help you with that. And she'll glance down.
And I think this is a good place to fade to black. As you all clean up the room. The night passes. The storm does not. All of you will get some sleep. Spend a point of blood to awaken. And the next night, as the storm rages around you, there are many things that you must do. However, all signs are going to point to the chapel of the Holy Sepulchre. It's near the Golden Swan. And is there anything that you want to do tonight before you head over?
Alëna wants to take some... Well, actually, I think she might have tried to do this before dawn if she could have, but essentially take some herbs and leave them at the door of the house of the young couple. Herbs of, like, preventing children and some other things that she might want.
That sounds good. I think luckily you probably you probably beat it to the punchline on that one.
Yep, but she still
just
leaves
in
them
case.
because
Just in case.
and like pain or like painkiller herbs and stuff like that, just to along with a couple of flowers.
That sounds good. Now, here's another question for you real quick, though. As you were doing this, would you try to convince... you might know that Rainald might be able to change people's memories?
No.
No? She should live with that? Okay.
She should live with the knowledge that she was saved.
Okay.
That's how Alëna sees it.
That's valid.
Especially if I did beat him to most of the punch, if not all of it.
I'm going to say that you decide where you beat it. And that's where it happened.
Yeah, I don't think she'd let him get too far, just enough that she could be like, this, yeah, this is where that was going.
This is going there. A ripped bodice, that's enough.
Pretty much. And then just a furious flurry of Alëna.
Sounds good. As you awaken the next night, you go and drop that off. Is anybody else doing anything? Yes, Bastien.
Maybe too much time has elapsed since then, but leave the family matters behind and closing the door. Well, Rainald, don't worry. I'll go look for this. I'll go look for what was stolen. And maybe there's absolutely no way to do it. But if I can, I'd like to look for a certain thief in the remaining hours of the night.
That sounds good. Why don't we go ahead and we cut to last night. In fact, Alëna, you'll have time to drop off those herbs the night before you sleep, we'll say. Bastien, why don't you give me a perception and investigation roll? It's really rainy outside. We'll say that it's difficulty 8. You're going to drop that down to 6 with Auspex, most likely.
And I'll spend willpower on this. Perception and investigation? Where is investigation?
It is a knowledge. Do you have
I've got a
investigation?
dot in that.
Oh, good. That means you can make the roll.
And it was difficulty dropped down to 6.
Difficulty 6.
This is not vibes, so the 10 is just 1. 3, including the willpower
Perfect.
spent.
Wow. In that case, you are going to be able to follow the sound. and the footsteps. And before long, you will find outside of the town, on the opposite side that you entered, there is a campfire. There's a garish wagon, painted in bright yellows and reds, with streaks of green across it. Rain is buffeting down, and you can see a pair playing music on these strange stringed, they're almost like lyres, around a campfire. Meanwhile, the tiny woman that you met before, Kisaya, is still standing there inside of her hood and is throwing coins out of the coffer around the group. The two on the other side, a man and a woman, scrabble with their feet to pick them up as they play music. Are you showing up in Obfuscate?
Nah.
What a wonderful tip you gave me.
Oh, well. I've just come to beg for my share, of course.
Tell you what, if you want it, you have to earn it.
Okay.
These are my cousins. We travel, we collect. This is my friend Bastien. He is French. Both of the cousins will spit into the fire.
I'll spit too. My name is French, but I wouldn't
No, you are a
dare
mongrel
call
like
myself
me.
French.
She walks up to you. Now, how tall is Bastien?
Oh, malnourished. What's male height then? Man, who even knows? But not noble son. Ate 3 square meals a day height.
I'm saying that I said 5'3". I think she's actually closer to like 4'11" at this point. She's going to
5'6".
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll approach you and reach up on her tiptoes and pluck your hat off. Come. Earn it. Dance with me. Under the moonlight, Crusader. And she will throw her head back and slough her robes onto the ground, revealing a very petite nude form that is covered in various places with bits of hand-done tattoo.
Of this, of course, I can do.
Dance for your coin, Frenchman.
I will prove that I'm no French man. And I will dance.
Can you make me a dexterity and performance roll?
Guess what my highest pool is this game?
Oh. 6, please. Oh, she's no slouch herself, actually. She's got 4 successes.
Why is my subterfuge so high?
Because you're a liar.
Oh. I should lie more. Difficulty.
Difficulty 6.
Oh, wow. Okay. So 3 1s. And 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is nimble?
Yes. To
Come
dance
on.
naked around a fire? Yeah, totally. Because if you're not nimble...
Okay, it would be 6, but I got 3 ones, so it's 3.
3. All right. You dance naked in the moonlight next to a bonfire. And as you do, the flames reach out to lick at you, getting so close at times that your beast roils up. But something about getting lost in the hedonism of the moment. You feel somewhat encouraged. Can you do me a favor? Make me 1 courage roll.
Oh.
Just a
Uh-oh, the
difficulty
Call of the Void.
4.
What is Bastien's courage again?
It's
Oh, right,
it's down there. It's 5, I believe.
I spent... It's 4.
Hmm.
I spent bonus points on my virtue as a character creation. Unlike you monsters. Man, I've been rolling a lot of 1s. 9... the 1 takes away the 8. 1. Only 1 success.
So, you dance for a good hour, and at the apex of it, at the climax of the dance, she smiles. If you want your coin, come earn it with me. And with that, she springs over the fire, leaping through the flames. Don't you believe your god will protect you? Dance!
Oh, that I have to.
Okay. You may do so with that 1 success on your courage roll. You leap through the flame, you feel it lick at you, and for a moment it feels like you're going to be pulled down into hell itself. But as you land on the other side, your feet in the mud with the spitting, sparking fire behind you, your beast feels distant. For the next 24 hours, treat yourself as having courage 5. Look at you. A regular fire dancer. Here's your share of the loot. Would you like your pretty coffer back?
Oh, I think the priest would enjoy that. Yes.
Tell you what, do you want to make it look like you fought for it, or just stole it back?
Stole it back.
Oh.
Unless you want to.
Oh,
Unless
I
you
don't care.
want it to look
Do you
like
want some
I got
blood and
caught.
teeth to put in there? We have a collection.
That'd be pretty funny, actually. Yeah, let's do that.
Bruno, the one playing the basically mandolin, is going to reach back, pull open a small bag of teeth, throw them into the coffer, and then grab a wineskin and squirt coagulated blood into it. And then go, where are my manners? Drink?
It's coagulated?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's coming out in clots.
No. No. I appreciate the offer, but, well, that's just, it's a little old for me.
That's what she said. So, Kasaya says, what brings you to Timisoara?
the usurper that I have to babysit.
You are here to babysit one of the Tremere?
And take him to his peers.
You're returning him back to his people?
Unfortunately, yes.
How about this? Fuck the Tremere. Run off with us. You seem like a good folk. We could raise the countryside. We could steal and take anything not nailed down. And you wouldn't have to handle any of the usurpers anymore before they turn you into one of those monsters.
Turn you into one of those monsters?
Oh,
I-
cousin. Where does your blood flow from? Which fork did it leave Cain from? I mean, no offense, but you're obviously not a Sedite. Your snake's not big enough. And you're obviously not a Ventrue for the opposite reason.
Now, going to activate Glares of Lies, which shows the third eye, but it narrows in a glare and makes lying almost impossible in front of him.
Holy shit. It's a unicorn.
I do not think that I should travel with you. Not that I do not appreciate your offer. Not that I would not choose to do this. But I wish you and your cousins well.
You're one of the
And the
children
people.
of... Listen, cousin. The Wiromani are hunted. But fuck. At least they give us a head start. You do not want to do this. If you go to the Tremere, I don't care if you bring them 100 Tremere with you. They're going to kill you. And I think that's what we're going to call game for the night. Let you ruminate on that for a week.
So good.
So good.
I like that we made it one paragraph and
We
literally-
chewed that
Sounds like
scenery
us.
real good.
so
Yeah.
we
Oh,
made
no.
it from if they are not already in Timisoara to near the church there is an inn. Thus, even though they will spend their day sleeping at night, the servants try to find an inn or other accommodations for them. There we go. That's how far you made it. So in my book, you made it from here to
Yeah.
here.
Nice. Progress.
Right?
So almost all of that
This
was
is
your
how
input.
much I had. Oh yeah, this is how much I had prepared for tonight, all the way over. So we're gonna meet Goratrix in only 10 more sessions.
Yeah.
That's okay. I like
Yay.
this game.
I like this
Yeah,
game too.
I miss.
We'll traumatize many mortals en route.
Oh my gosh, my
ghouls.
my poor
So much
poor,
trauma.
So
my
much
poor
trauma.
son. He needs so much therapy.
Oh,
Too bad it's not
God.
invented yet.
Therapy's not
All
invented.
of that
You-
is probably better than what would have been in the story.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, like, we're gonna use the cool stuff from the story, of course, because there's some cool stuff in it. Why wouldn't we?
Mhm.
But yeah, we're gonna have fun first. But I hope you guys all had fun. Did you guys have fun tonight? Was it good to be back?
Yes. It's great to be
So
back here.
good. I had such a fun
Man,
So
time.
good. Question, because
What's up?
it kind of question. Are we gonna do Teresa's moment of truth stuff on stream, or are you gonna handle that?
Oh, I have to research those a bit more. I think.
I mean, I can tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah, tell me more about them, because I've never done his moments of truth or something they really brought in V20.
So, yeah. So basically, the moment of truth is like just a change, like a change in thought process, right? It's like you suddenly have a revelation kind of thing. And I figured Tereza, you know, going all sadistic is that, but basically once she's hit one humanity, which she has, and one in each of the virtues that are going to change with the road she wants, then when making the change, the character must fight off her beast. This requires an extended willpower roll. The character spends a point of willpower for each roll and rolls her willpower dots. The difficulty is 10 minus her total combined virtue dots remaining. She needs a total of 10 successes to adopt the new road. If she fails a single roll, she can continue. But if she runs out of willpower, she falls to 0 dots in her current road and becomes lost to the beast. A botch on any of these rolls costs her an additional point of willpower per botch rolled.
Okay. Robin, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do this on stream? Do you want to do this before next game? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this right now?
I was gonna say let's see about doing it right. I
Let's do
mean,
it- let's do it
depends.
right now.
Like,
Okay. What's your
because
so
if
first
the
off?
chat wants to buy,
That's fair.
buy willpower
Also,
for Tereza.
You
So-
you should get one back for sadist, maybe. So,
Yes, I was about to say. Can I get
Yes.
everybody's nature, starting with Alëna? Alëna, what's your nature?
bravo.
Yes, take a willpower. Bastien, what's your nature?
I didn't need one, but thank you.
Oh, nature, not.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. What?
Yeah.
Idealist.
No.
No.
Rainald.
No.
I'm good. I'm still at full willpower because I
Okay.
got bought one. in
And
the chat.
Tereza, you have sadist as your nature?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
go ahead and take a willpower point back. And let's go ahead and do this right now then. So let's count up, starting with how many points of virtues do you have total?
Is that total?
Yeah.
Like include 6.
Including
6?
courage, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 6.
Okay, so roll me 6 dice at a difficulty of, it's difficulty 10.
No, it's difficulty 10 minus the number of virtue dots you have. So it's a difficulty of 4.
Mhm.
But you're rolling willpower, not your virtue dots.
And is it full, is it current willpower or full willpower on these rolls? I can never remember.
It's
I'm up
you're
to
rolling.
full.
Yeah, it's rolling current willpower, but you have to spend a willpower each roll.
So it's your willpower score that you're rolling.
Let me double check what it says.
Or usable willpower. That's a big.
Yeah. Is it the trait or is it the pool?
Okay, so yes, the character spends a point of willpower for each roll and rolls her willpower dots.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. So
That is the
so
wording.
I have 5 willpower, so I have 5 chances to
Yep.
to do this.
Get 10 successes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead. You're at difficulty
boy.
of your difficulty of 4 though.
Or
Yeah.
So it could be worse. Go ahead
It could
and
be
make it the
worse,
first
It's
roll.
true.
all right. So rolling 5 dice, difficulty 4.
Watch time.
Do 10s reroll.
I have one something good happens left, so yes.
Cool, because fuck you, Kal. I got 2 1s, a 2, 3 to 10.
It's just a little oracular ability. It's just I knew you were going to botch
Okay.
that
Okay.
first
So
one.
so reroll the 10.
Reroll.
Yep. All right, reroll. All right, that's a 9, so that's 0. They cancel each other out.
That's a fail. Yeah,
That's a fail.
You're fine. You can still
Okay.
go.
Yep.
Go again.
Yep. So now I
Roll again. Six
I've
dice.
never been so nervous.
And now you'll roll like 5 successes.
I hold on. I rolled a 10. So
Mm-hmm.
that's 6 successes there.
Okay.
Oh, so close.
You're at 2 rolls out of 5.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. So I'm at do. So then 3 more successes.
Okay.
Okay. You're at 9 successes.
4th roll.
Perfect. And then that is another 5. That was cocked. 6 successes on top of that.
Okay, so 15 total.
Nice.
Yep, 15
Okay.
total.
So we will have to discuss next.
That was close.
That was very
That
close.
was close.
So you're going to start next
was
game
stressful.
with 1 point of willpower. I'll say 2 points of willpower because achieving your road is going to give you, starting your road is going to give you an invigoration.
Ooh.
Okay. You're going to have a moment of
Nice.
clarity there, and we will pick up next episode. So you and I are going to talk about what path you want to go on. Okay, and we're going to figure that out
I
before
think
next game.
we know what path we're going
It
on.
could be about 3 of them, in my opinion, and I'll run you through those after game tonight.
Okay.
Hey, folks.
What path of righteousness will you choose, Lady Tereza?
I think it's going to have to be path of chivalry, obviously.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
No, path of Road of Heaven. Road of Heaven.
Oh,
Road
right,
of Heaven.
yes.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, Road of Heaven. Perfect.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
folks. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and for appreciating this game and enjoying it with us. We love our World of Darkness, and if you do too, consider joining the Patreon. It's a great way to support the channel directly and to help us keep going. There's going to be a bunch of great stuff there. We still have one more episode, technically, of Technocracy Zero Sum that's coming out sometime in September, probably. We have more World of Darkness games that are in progress. We're developing right now. We've got a brand new series of something not D&D related that's going to be starting very soon, but we also have Kal down there is running his first ever D&D game on the channel, and it's going to be starting in 2 weeks, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to go to hell. It's a descent into Avernus. It's going to be fantastic. So stick around for that. Who knows? I might even run something darker than vampire. Convince me. But hey, you can also join the likes of many of our fantastic patrons, like my mom. Hi, Mom. How's it going? Thanks for being a divine producer. Our demonic producers, Precarious, Mysterium MK, and Sorcerer Sanguine. Our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric, the Ink Goblin, and Karasha Urquhart. Our monster maker, Solomon. And our High Council, Taryn, Dustin, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Chef Eladeth, Larouk, Mike Baxter, Iridian, Brian Kaler, Nerdy Metal Gent, and Kelowna Kurd. And with that, we'll see you next time here on Vampire the Masquerade, Transylvania Chronicles. Next week, here on Dork Tales. Good night, everybody.